Hello students, welcome to our computer class and in this class we are going to talk about an important part of CPU. In our last class also I told you that memory unit is an important part of CPU. So we are going to talk about this memory unit today. Okay, first of all, what is this memory? See, storage capacity of a computer is called its memory. The one main function of a computer is storing data, keeping data for long time. We can save our files or photos or any movies, videos, audios, anything, and we can use them in future also, right? So that capacity to store all these things is called a computer's memory. Fine. Storage devices contain space to store any kind of data such as text, images, graphics, audio or video. That means there is some space in these storage devices in which we are storing all these data. Okay, and this storage capacity, this storage space, that varies from device to device. That means some devices have more space and some devices have less space to store. So that is we all say no, 1 GB, 1 gigabyte and 1 terabyte, like that. So that is storage capacity. And last thing, the data is stored in bits, that is 0 and 1 and bytes. Like I already told you, computer can understand only binary language which is in the form of 0 and 1s. So this data is also stored in the form of 0 and 1s only, and combination of 0 and 1s, 8 bits together is called 1 byte. So whenever we measure computer's memory, we say in the form of bytes. Okay, we'll talk about all these things in detail. See, there are two types of memory. So that is, one is primary memory and the second one is secondary memory. Primary memory is also called internal memory because it is inside the CPU, inside the computer. And secondary memory, that is also called external memory, which is we are adding it. So we'll talk about primary memory. There are two types of primary memory. They are ROM and RAM. First of all, what is this primary memory? It holds data and instructions required for processing. What is this instructions and data required for processing? We'll see here. See, ROM, that is read only memory. That means as this name itself telling us, we can only read this. We cannot copy anything into ROM or we cannot store any files in this ROM. So this stores all the instructions to start the computer. When we switch on the computer, no, booting process has to be done, right? That means operating system has to be copied into computer. So this operating system, this booting instructions, they are stored in ROM. Okay, and in RAM we can store all the input and data while working. That means, for example, you have saved one word document in computer, in your computer, and after 10 days you want to open it and you want to add some more data in that, some tables or some more text you wanted to type. Okay, so when you are going to open that file, that Word document, and when you are working in that time, that particular Word document which you open, that is copied or stored in this RAM, random access memory. So that is why we are saying this primary memory, that means this ROM and RAM, they hold data and instructions required for processing. ROM holds instructions to start the computer and RAM holds data to work in the computer. Okay, but see here, there are some differences between this ROM and RAM. Like every time we start the computer, we need booting instructions, right? That means we cannot delete the booting instructions. We need that always. So this ROM is permanent. That means the instructions which are there in the ROM are permanent. That is for all the time. Okay, but in RAM, the Word document which we opened, we have completed our work and we are saving it again and we are closing the computer. We shut it down. Okay, in that time the instruction the input which is there in RAM, the data which is there in the RAM, that is deleted. That means that particular Word document, when we are done with working, that is deleted from RAM. That means RAM space is again free. So that is why we are saying RAM is temporary. As long as we are working on a file, we are working on a document, or we are watching a movie, only that thing is copied into RAM, and once we close it, then that is deleted from RAM. That is why RAM is temporary. Okay. Then, whenever we switch off the computer, the instructions which are there in the ROM, they are not deleted. Okay, they are always there. This nature is called non-volatile. See here, non-volatile. And whenever we shut down the computer, then the data or input whatever is there in the RAM, that is deleted. RAM is always free when we start a computer. So this nature, when the power is off, RAM, all the instructions or all the data which is there in the RAM, that is deleted. This nature is called volatile nature. Okay, I hope you understand. ROM holds the instructions which are you needed to start the computer, and RAM holds all the input and data which are we are working. Okay, and now we are talking that we are like discussing that the main function of a computer is storing data, right? Fine, but where are we storing data? ROM holds only in booting instructions, and RAM holds data only for temporary time, that is only for some time. But where are we storing all our data? There only we need this secondary memory. Okay, this secondary memory does the storage task of computer. All the things we are storing, we are saving, or any files like Word documents or any contact details or any other data, Excel files, anything, or photos, movies, videos, any data we are storing, that is stored in secondary memory. Okay, that is why this is also called external memory. Secondary memory means we are adding extra to the computer, we are adding from outside. That is why this is called external memory. Okay, we see some external memory devices, that is secondary memory devices. They are hard disk and CDs, compact discs, DVDs, digital versatile disc, pen drives, memory card, etc. are there. We'll see all these things clearly. See here, we'll talk about discs. CD, this is CD, DVD, and this is Blu-ray disc. We have one more type. Fine. There are the major difference between these three is in their storage space. We talked about this no in the beginning itself. This storage space or storage capacity, this varies from device to device. So CD stores only up to 700 MB data, whereas DVD can store 4.7 GB. and Blu-ray disc can store around 25 GB. Okay, so fine. We'll talk about the types of these discs. CD-R, CD-ROM. First one is CD-ROM. ROM means, as we talked about ROM already, ROM stands for read only memory, right? So CD-ROM means we are buying a CD from shop, and if any movie is there, only we can read that movie, only we can watch that movie. We cannot copy any files in this CD, we cannot write anything into this CD, we can only read it. Okay, see, CD space is 700 MB. For example, 400 MB is used. When we buy from shop, 400 MB is used. So 300 MB space is left. No, it is free. But in CD-ROM type, we cannot use the 300 MB space. Okay, fine. Next one, CD-R. See, you can see here CD-R. CD-R means recordable. That means you can copy any files in this. You can save. Like 400 MB space is used when you bought it, and 300 MB is still there, right? So in that 300 MB you can store some pictures or any files. That means you can use it. You can record something into this CD. Okay, then last one, rewritable. That means you can delete that 400 MB also. That means you can erase data from this CD and you can copy your own files. That is CD-RW type. Same types are there in DVD also. Okay, so CD-ROM means we can only read. If free space is also there, we cannot use it. CD-R means what is there already, we cannot delete. But if free space is there, we can copy something, we can save something in that. And CD-RW means we can delete the files which are already there and we can use the space again. Okay, I hope you understand the types. And the main difference between these three discs is CD can store up to 700 MB and single layer DVD can store up to 4.7 GB and single layer Blu-ray disc can store up to 25 GB. There are different layers. If we have two layers, that is called dual layer disc, dual, D-U-A-L, dual layer. In that we can store up to 8.5 GB. Dual layer DVD we can store up to 8.5 GB, and in Blu-ray disc dual layer one we can store up to 50 GB. Okay, this is the major difference between these three discs. Fine. We have one more difference, that is in players. See, we need separate players like this to use this CDs, DVD or any disc, and they are inbuilt actually. They come with CPU or laptop. So we have to put like this and we can access it, we can use it, we can open it. Okay, fine. This Blu-ray player is different and separate from this CD player actually. We cannot play Blu-ray disc in CD player. Remember this, we cannot play Blu-ray disc in CD player. This Blu-ray player is different. Okay, but in this Blu-ray player we can also play CD and DVD. Okay, so this is one more difference between the CD, DVD and Blu-ray disc. Fine. Now we'll talk about pen drive. We all know this pen drive. This pen drive is the most popular form of storage device nowadays, and it is extremely small in size, which is very easy to carry around. We can take it anywhere. We can simply keep it in our pocket or purse and we can carry this. And we don't need extra players also to use this pen drive. See, along with the laptop or CPU, we have this USB ports in which we have to insert this pen drive and we can use it simply. And storage space is also quite high. See, Blu-ray disc we have single layered one we had up to 25 GB, right? But very small pen drive we can have up to 1 TB also. Only Kingston company it has released 1 TB pen drive. So very huge storage space we'll get with pen drives, and it is very easy to carry and no no fear of damage also. CD discs and all we have to handle them with very much care. They are easily scratchable or breakable, but we have no such fears with pen drive. It is quite rough and tough. Okay, so this is like, that is the reason this is most popular form of storage device nowadays. Fine. This memory card, we may nowadays we rarely see these memory cards actually. Before and all we used to get with smartphones or phones, but now we are having phone also. Internal memory is there in phones, right? So we can see these memory cards in digital cameras. Okay, and these memory cards are also with different capacities available in market. See, this is 64 GB, and we need card readers to use these memory cards. We just have to insert this card memory card into this any slot in which it fits properly, and we just have to connect this card reader also just as pen drive to any USB port. Okay, so they are quite easy ones to handle. Fine. Last one we see hard disk. We have two hard disks actually. One is internal hard disk which is already there in CPU. In this only we can store our data. Any files we are saving in this hard disk only they are stored. And one is external hard disk. This is like extra memory, and we have to connect like this. Just as pen drive we have to connect to USB port, and this also we can simply easily carry anywhere. This hard disk we cannot remove it outside. We cannot take it out and carry, but this external hard disk we can easily carry anywhere. And the benefit of hard disks is they are like, they give us so much of space. Storage space is very high in hard disks, and now we have 1 TB, that is 1 terabyte, and there are 2 terabytes, 4 terabytes, like that also are there. Okay, and you all might be thinking what is this terabyte, gigabyte and all. We'll see that memory units now. See, 0 is called 1 bit and 1 is 1 bit. So computer can understand only this 0 and 1. Okay, so to store any data, computer converts all the data into this 0 and 1's form and it stores in computer. So 4 bits together is called 1 nibble, and 8 bits together is called 1 byte, and byte is the basic one actually. Bit is the most basic one, but with this byte only all our other memory units are measured. See, 1 byte is 8 bits, and 1 kilobyte means 1024 bytes. Okay, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes, and in for 1 megabyte it is 1024 kilobytes. In maths, actually, we learn kilo means 10 power 3, mega means 10 power 6, giga means 10 power 9, like that. So same way, but we don't say 10 power 3 here, which is 1000, but in computer memory sizes it is 1024. Okay, this is actually 2 power 10. So like, see, this is the order. Bit is the smallest one, nibble is the next one, which is 4 bits, and next is byte, which is 8 bits, and next is kb, which is 1024 bytes. See, just the previous one. Next, mb means 1024 kb, and GB. MB is megabyte, GB is gigabyte, GB is 1024 MB, and terabyte means 1024 GB, and last one petabyte, that is 1024 terabytes. Okay, this petabyte is quite huge actually. Okay, and rarely, we have never seen this terabyte memory space, but it is available and it is used in supercomputers, we can say. Okay, I hope you understand what is memory, and what are the types of memory, and what are the differences between RAM and ROM, what are the differences between primary memory and secondary memory, and what are the different secondary memory devices available for us, and what are their features, qualities, and all capacities, what are different disks, and what are their qualities, all those things I hope you understand, and these memory units also. Okay, yeah. So all of you stay home and stay safe.